Every time the woman meets her first love, she brings gifts home to cheer up her husband and son. When she sees her husband still cooking soup for her, despite being furious just moments ago, she finally feels a sense of relief. But as she walks toward him happily, he suddenly disappears right in front of her. She instinctively turns to look for her son, only to find that he's gone too. A sharp pain hits her heart instantly. She hurriedly calls the nanny, only to be told that her husband and son haven't been home for days. Hearing this, she's completely shocked, but still thinks her husband is just mad at her. She even insists that she and her first love are just good friends. Just then, a delivery man shows up with a document. She opens it in confusion and is stunned to find it's a divorce certificate. She's completely dumbfounded because she had no idea that she was already divorced. In her panic, she even thinks the certificate is fake, made just to mess with her. What she doesn't know is that her husband and son are already at the airport, ready to leave this heartbreaking place for good. Just a few days ago, she was diagnosed with late-stage liver cancer. Her husband started raising money everywhere to save her, even sold off his late mother's heirlooms, and managed to gather $500,000 for treatment. But she gave all that money without hesitation to her first love. She said he just started a business and badly needed a nice car to look successful. Her husband was furious. He tried to calmly explain that the money was for her treatment, and even showed her the medical report, but she thought it was fake. She angrily crumpled the report and threw it on the floor. Their son cried and tried to explain, saying dad wasn't lying, but she wouldn't listen, and even blamed her son for not being as mature as her first love's child. Then she turned and told her son to get dressed, saying she'd go with him to the parent meeting. The boy smiled through tears, because it was the first time. His mom said she'd take him to school, but halfway there, her first love called, saying he and his kid couldn't get a cab, and were waiting in the rain. She immediately told her husband and son to get out. The man couldn't take it anymore, and asked how she could kick out her own son in the rain. Only then did she seem to remember her son. But the moment she heard her first love's kid say he was cold, she stopped caring altogether, and once again forced the man out of the car. To avoid more fighting, the boy quietly got out on his own, and just like that, the woman drove away without a second thought, leaving the father and son in the pouring rain. Looking at his soaking wet son, the man finally decided to leave with him. But the boy, being thoughtful as always, still couldn't bear to leave his mom alone. He begged his dad to give her 3 more chances. Meanwhile, the woman had no idea her family was falling apart. At the school gate, her son was once again mocked by classmates. They said he didn't have a mom. With tears in his eyes, he argued that he did, then turned around and saw her standing at the entrance, but she didn't even notice him, and in front of his eyes, she kissed her first love's son affectionately. Seeing this, the boy was filled with disappointment, but still held on to one last hope. He ran toward her, only to be shoved to the ground by another kid.